going on, guys? Tony McGeekly Games, and today we have a very overdue deck profile for BT16 Dorugoramon. Uh, Deck is pretty much focused on collision as it should be because collision is going to be pretty much broken, and it's only for this archetype right here. We are getting some BT7 cards with some machine or SOC trait cards that have collision as an inheritable, which very good for Machinedramon coming up in BT17. But backtracking. Basically, every time we're swinging with our big stacks right here, we're going to be forcing our opponent to gain blocker, and they just have to meet their baker, and it's going to be this card right here. Obviously, when it all turns will trigger, of course, we get to delete something while it's blocked. We can unsuspend this Digimon. And then more often than not, we're going to have this Tamer right here, this handsome gentleman right here, and we have Piercing. So every time our opponent is forced to block our stuff, they are taking damage. This is very nice. So before we talk about the rest of the deck profile here and why this is what it is, be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you do enjoy these deck profiles, we do have a TCG Pro site. Link will be in the description below, so I don't have to go and say it. And without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the deck. So of the 5 eggs, it's all the same. Same name Digimon is Dorugoramon. The BT7 one here is basically simple. We're going to stuff one of our Tamers in or a Digimon in its source. We'll go ahead and draw a card. And with the new one, all turns, when another Digimon with blocker is deleted, we go ahead and gain a memory. Now, it says another Digimon, so it could be one of our Digimon that has blocker, which is our Tyrannomons. We can go ahead and gain memories off that. If it's our opponent's turn and they're at 0, we block. They don't know what this egg does, we go ahead and steal the turn. But more often than not, it's going to be our turn. We're going to be forcing our opponents gaining blocker. They're forced to block, and we're going to steal memory while beating them in. So with our level 3s, we're still running these guys right here. On play for the top 3 cards. You're going to add X Antibody. We're not having Codas because the Tamer's not good here. Because since we have a bunch of SOC trait cards, they're not just strictly X Antibody. They will just, get bottom decked and, sad face. Heritable's still very powerful here. When we stuff one of our Tamers or just any kind of source in the stack, go ahead and gain a memory. So you probably are thinking like, might as well just run this as 4. You can, but also this egg is just as good. So figure out your ratios you want to do with your eggs, like I have right here, or you can do 4-1, or this could be 3, this could be 2, however what you want to do. Now we get the new Dories. Start your main phase by placing one Kosuchi. I'm gonna be pronouncing the name. I'm still learning, so bear with. From your hand at the bottom of Evolution Source, Digimon can't leave the battle area other than by deletion until the end of your opponent's turn. So DP reduction is still by deletion because game mechanics will delete the Digimon by having 0. So we are, unfortunately out for that. Other deletion stuff is like hard options that can delete this. But it can't be bounced hand deck under another Tamer or anywhere. It can't go anywhere other than by like a straight shot with an option card or you're smacking into with another Digimon. That's the only way you're getting rid of this. I kind of wish this was just like the Dorgray, like it can't have its DP. It can't be deleted by effects, this and that. That would be pretty strong. I think it would be overpowered, but that's what we're dealt with. And then you all turn to Heritable's plus 1000. And then lastly for our level 3s, we got this is broken Ukomon. I had this at 4, and I'm going to tell you, it was fun having it 4, and I might go back to 4, but to make more room for options that are actually more viable for here and more consistently searching, we had to run this back to 2. So it does Evo for 1 on an egg that could be any color you use. Your turn, when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area, reveal the top 3 cards to your deck. Add 1 Digimon or Tamer card from among them to your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of the deck, and then you may hatch in the breeding area. Like, this effect is so good. Like, for Numemon, it's still going to be around for BT16. Yes, it gets checked up by, like, Revelation of Light, whatever, but they're running 4 of this bad boy, and let me tell you, that deck is insanely fast, so gotta incorporate this in here. If you don't like this Ukomon, you can go ahead and just run the other Doru that is on play. You can, trash a card in your hand that's X Antibody related and draw 2 cards. Up next, we got our Dorugamons here. This is where our collision comes in. All the level 4, 5s, and 6s have the collision of this evolution lineup. So on play, when Digivolve, by trashing 1 card in your hand, you can draw a card. So basically just recycling. Then, if this Digimon has a Tamer of the SOC trait in its evolution cards, One of your opponent's Digimon gains starter main phase. This Digimon attacks until the end of the turn, and we also get plus 1,000. So as long as we have one of these 6 Tamers in the source, we're going to give one of our opponent's Digimon, they are forced to attack, which is a very black thing now that's going around, and I love that ability. Up next, we got some Airgemons right here. Now, you can pretty much run whatever you want here, but since we're running Airgemons and we have the Marvin Jackson, we might as well have it included because when on play, when Digivolving, you may by placing one Marvin Jackson from your hand as evolution source, you can de-Digivolve. That's insane. We also have with our Dorugoramon, the new ones, inheritables, is when we delete some, we could play out a Digimon with play cost 5 or less. It's SOC trait, and this could be one of them. So it's pretty good. And it has reboot as an inheritable, which is really nice, and we want that in our sources. Up next, we have Tyrannomon. He's an on-play blocker for play cost 4. Now you see this guy's played in Fenluger, which is just as good here. So on play, reveal top 4 cards to your deck. You may add 1 Digimon card with the SOC trait and 1 such Tamer to the hand, bottom deck the rest, and then if you added a card, trash a card. Which is also nice because we do want some trashing because like I said here, when we get to this inheritable allows it to play some cards out of the trash. And since most of our main lineups is SOC trait, this card is going to find a lot of things. And then lastly for level 4s, we just have, this, I can't really pronounce this name to be honest with you. I had Black Lobo, but, Grumble if you want to call him. But this is just better because we can still Evo from on a rookie, of course, not a rookie, one of our Tamers. It has a win Digivolve. In fact, to the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains started main phase. This Digimon attacks. So we could use this at any point in time in the game to force one of the Digimon to swing at us, and we block them, and then we could steal memory or just get rid of the board, or this should just finish the game. It does cost 3, so it's not fun. But yeah, there's him. If you want to run just any of the the black generic hybrids, you go ahead and do that as well. So on to level 5, so we got the new Dorugoramon, obviously with collision. They have the alterns. When attack target is switched, this Digimon with a Tamer card in its evolution source may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Beast Dragon, Undead, or SOC trait from your hand without the cost. Now it says Undead, so once we get to BT17, we're gonna have more Dex versions of these guys, which come out from the trash. So we can utilize this from the trash, which is going to be awesome. But also, this is from hand, so if we have them in our hand, it's fine. But we have stuff in the trash. But we'll talk about that when we get closer to BT17. So basically, like Hisaru from the Digipolice, basically the same effect because the Dorugoramon is a Beast Dragon. Inheritable. All turns once per turn. This Digimon deletes another Digimon. You may play out 1 card with X Antibody or SOC trait, and with a play cost of 5 or less from your trash without the cost. So basically, for any of these go down early, or in your level 4s, we're trashing stuff with our Mega Dramons, we'll be talking about next. Tyrannomon trashing stuff out. We're gonna go ahead and just play the Digimon now. Now I can't play Tamers obviously because it says Digimon, so that's a whiff. But Mega Dramons, our next best level 5 in here. On play or when Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, you may place 1 Machine, Cyborg, or SOC trait from among them on the bottom evolution card of this card, and add 1 such card to your hand, and then trash the rest. So basically, add a card in the source and the hand, and then trash the rest. Then when attacking, if SOC trait Tamer card is in this evolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost 3 or lower, or a Tamer. A lot of Tamers out there play cost 3, so deleting Tamers is very, very good. Also, deleting rookies that are problematic, like Ukos, like this new one right here, or just Floodgates, whatever, it's also fairly good. And it's also not a once per turn, so if we're able to unsuspend, we can do it again. Then when attacking once per turn, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. That's an insane inheritable. Plus it's a level 5, very good for Machine Digimon, by the way. But even in this deck, very good inheritable. And then lastly, we have our best one of Dorugoramon. Sad that this card is never going to see the light of day again, because by placing, you may place 1 black card with X Antibody in its traits from your hand at the bottom evolution of this Digimon to prevent effects from deleting it or reducing its DP until the end of turn. Now, good combo you can do here, if you're able to do this, right? If you're able to do this, and then you go into this, you're able to do this, your stack's untouchable. It is very much untouchable. With the effects of that, the new Doru, and the effects of old Dorugoramon, yeah, there's nothing your opponent can do. And to put the icing on the cake, when this Digimon has X anybody in its trades, just gain +1 security. Very, very, very good. Imagine this was at 4, this deck would be all over the place. Lastly, for level 6s, we got our Dorugoromons. When Digivolving, this Digimon has a Tamer card and it's with the SOC trait and its evolution cards. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon or Tamer. Just when Digivolving. Very, very good. So you can do it as a mid-swing. It's tapped. Because once you delete something, you'll trigger its all turns effect here. When another Digimon is deleted, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Now, it also says with another. So, like, your Digimon could this could be tapped. You don't have reboot, whatever. They swing into another Digimon. Once that's done, you can unsuspend this. You have blocker in your resources. Boom. Now you can block. And then lastly, we're still playing with the old ones. Your turn, for each of the X antibody in its traits, the Digimon gains +1000. It starts up at 11, but as soon as you evo into this, it's pretty hefty. I'll tell you that right now. And then when attacking once per turn, you may place one card with X antibody trait from your hand, the bottom evolution card, to delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon play costs less than or equal to this evolution cards. Like, if you get a fat stack going, you're deleting like level 5s. Like, that's insane. And it's just going to be insanely huge. And that combos with Final Zubugon Punch. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But then lastly, just one Death X because, you know, some decks just go wide. If you're able to draw this, just go ahead and play it. Reduce evolution cost by 3 for every Digimon or Tamer your opponent has. Unplay, Digivolve everything and delete all their level 4 or lower Digimon. End your opponent's turn once per turn, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. Like, this card's a menace. We have it as a 1. If you want to play this as a 2, that's completely fine. You can make the ratio adjustments. Up next for a Tamers an option, we got the Kosuki. I think that's how you, like I said, I'm still learning name. If I say it right, cool. If not, oh well. Security, just play this out for free. It's coming out of your security if your opponent's attacking. Starting your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, go to 3. Mind linking, you can link this to any X antibody or SLC trait, and the following effect we're getting below is piercing and blocker. And obviously, end of all turns, we can go ahead and spit this out and have it on the field. Like our opponent memory trucks us a 1, and at the end of their turn, we just spit this out, go right back to 3, and do it all over again. Marvin Jack does the exact same thing, except for the start of main phase. By trashing 1 card with Machine, Cyborg, or SOC trait from our hand, go ahead and gain a memory. It's kind of like Analog Man, but we have inheritables here. We have jamming and blocker. So we can swing with our small stacks and keep them alive with the jamming effect here. Or we can go with our other one and gain the piercing. No more level 6s or higher, we can go ahead and just pierce. Defense training as a 4 of, why not? You're going to look at the top 2 cards and pull any black card, which is basically their entire deck, except for X Antibody, Huko, and Calling. That is exactly 5 cards that we cannot pull. That's it. Everything else is very pullable. And on our delays, we can go ahead and reduce the evolution cost by 2, which is very, very strong. Why not have it as 4 of? Then we got X Antibody here. Now, past Dorugoromon decks, I just wasn't playing X Antibody. And I had tried with Protoform, but this deck could just also just, you know, swing, Digivolve for free, and just do all the effects. Also with Sword Stripping, whatever, becoming a thing and bouncing, they can never strip this, so we'll always have a stack on the field, so that's why we opt for this X Antibody. So it comes out of security, gain a memory, add it to our hand. We can put it under a source as long as we don't have another X Antibody under them, and then when attacking, we can go ahead and Digivolve into a Digimon with X Antibody for its evolution cost, and then effects can't trash this. So, yeah. Final Zubugon Punch, our Digimon's going to be, you know, pretty hefty, and with our 2 of our Digimon that have plus 1000, we'll give our new Dorugoromon 14k, and then plus 3 more thousand, that will be more than 16, which will then get blocker, reboot, and security attack plus 1. So we can use this very offensive or defensive, and it's only 2 costs, so you can choke your opponent with this. It's very funny. And then a Calling from the Darkness. Delete one of your Digimon, or if there's nothing in the field, just activate this for 1 and return 2 purple Digimon cards from your trash to hand. our entire, dual lineup is purple. So we can go and recover like 2 of these back if they are in security, and then we just have level 69. Also, Death X is a purple Digimon, so if this gets hit in the security early, we can go ahead and recover this and just play it, or Digivolve it for 6. So there is that for you. So that is the deck for you guys for BT16. I'm sorry it's a little late, but I'm pretty happy with the ratios right here. But if you do want to see the death, the Dex version of this, which is basically the same copies, or just the main deck of this, but it's Dex copy, let me know in the comments below. I can go ahead and just put up a link and show you that. I can tell you right now, like, you're going to be missing out like on these stuff, whatever, and of course the Tamers, because the Tamers are going to have to be just cool boys at that point, since it's, all the same level. The weaknesses of this deck is if this is your only Digimon, you don't happen to have like piercing, they're just going to block, so you don't win the game, and they have a Digimon in the back, and you got to figure it out. That's basically the glaring weakness, I think, of Collision. But also, too, if they just have a slightly bigger Digimon than you, yeah. I mean, they're going to block anyway, but if they didn't have blocker, you're giving them blocker, kind of sucks. So you want to make sure you're always powerful, more powerful than your opponent's Digimon. Always ask what their DP is before you go and swing, giving block, and they're forcing to do it. So there's that. Also, if they have retaliation in the sources, too, yeah, you just die, because it is a deletion effect. So, it does bypass this. So, like I said before in the beginning, if you do enjoy these deck profiles, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You've done so lately. Let me know in the comments what you think could be added to the deck. What could be added more? Is 4 Ukos the way it is? Because if so, I'm thinking about it a little bit. This could go back to a 4. And we'll see you guys next time.